here with Chris Parnell, and we're talking Archer, and it's very exciting.
Oh, yeah, but thanks. I'm glad you feel that way.
You play Cyril Figgis on the show. For people who don't know what Cyril does, could you explain a little?
Well, Cyril has in the past been, I guess he still is, the comptroller of the agency, like the main accountant. And then he was made a field agent at a certain point. Cyril has been out in the field, but not necessarily as an agent. It's mostly around the office, you know.
In the last season, we saw Cyril sort of come into his own and try to turn the tables against all the abuse that he's had from Archer over the years, being down in South America. Mm-hmm. And this newfound confidence, and you're like, oh my God, Cyril's really changing. And then with the drop of a hat, the second the situation changes, he's back to being a baby.
Yeah, it did not stick with him, you know, and whatever he had, the chutzpah that he had to be this dictator for a little while doesn't seem to have lasted in him. And yeah, he's back to being his kind of somewhat pathetic, you know, sniveling self.
The show Archer has incredible writing, and they seem to be very easygoing and liberal when it comes to the topics and the way everything is discussed. When you get the script, then you get to look over, do they take the input from the character actors and saying, look, I don't think he would act this way, I think he might say this? Do they allow you to change it up?
I don't think they would necessarily shut you down if you did that. I can't speak for what anybody else does because we all record separately, but I don't do that at all. I mean, because these are Adam's characters that he's created, and yes, I bring a voice and certain life to it, obviously, but you know, I'm not an actor that tends to do that in general, unless I feel strongly about it, you know, and that tends to happen if there's writing that you don't feel confident in, you know, and it's like, oh, this is a crappy line. But if it's something, especially something that's been established like Archer has, been on for so many seasons and so beloved, Adam's got it. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's writing. Adam knows him better. How
different is the process doing the voices for Archer as opposed to when you do it for Rick and Morty?
It's not that different. I guess the main difference is that with Rick and Morty, either Justin or Dan or one of the other writers is there in the booth directing me, and so it kind of comes out in the writing. It's in the script. The lines themselves define the character, and it's just sort of following that ride along, you know. So it's mainly just different, in to the extent that the characters themselves are different.
You have some serious lyrical skills, which we've seen on Saturday Night Live. Do you think there'll be some kind of incorporation, maybe in a cutaway or a fantasy sequence with Cyril, where we'll get to see that again?
I doubt it. It's a hard thing to do, rap stuff outside of the context of Saturday Night Live, for me anyway. And I'm kind of protective of what we made there. I don't generally. There are people who do, you know, have tried to get me to do rap-related stuff, not Adam, and I was just like, oh no, I think that's a bad idea. If the material were great and the context was right, I might, you know, but overall, I just feel like and also that was like 10 years ago, you know, that was a while ago, so I don't want to be seen as the guy who's hanging on to this thing
But it is all about the Hamiltons, baby.
Well, we all know that.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Sure, thank you.